Hey, I'm Matt.
And I'm Tim.
And we're here in downtown Hendersonville to shoot another episode of the Mr. Maple Show. We're on the corner of 7th Avenue and Maple Street, and it couldn't be a more aptly named road.
We're down here. This is the road that the old train depot is on. And the road Maple Street that goes down through here has lots of maples from Mr. Maple. So we're gonna go down and check out how some of these cool plants are growing and see what cool plants they've got here on Maple Street.
Hey, and if you're on this street, definitely check out Daddy D's. It's like the best soul food in Henderson County. Let's go check out some maples. Hey, as we travel down Maple Street, we'll highlight some really cool maples that we think are very unique and the city of Hendersonville has chosen to put in here. We're actually here with the Acer pictum subspecies mono. So this is one of those batwing maples, and this is a very unique tree that upon a second look you might really be interested in.
Yeah, this one has these large batwing type leaves. This particular specimen was wild collected by Brian Upchurch in the Gifu Prefecture in Japan. And this is such a cool plant that is really unique. It's got those large rounded leaves. It really makes a nice specimen out in the landscape. We had the privilege of seeing some at Nikko National Park, and they were huge.
Yeah, we saw some massive ones of these in Japan at Nikko National Park. We're actually there on sports day, so everybody was out. It was a huge day to get into the national park there, and some amazing fall colors on these. Typically they were bright yellows to oranges. Just a really fun tree. You might be familiar with this species because it's gonna have a very similar leaf shape to Acer pictum usugumo, so that batwing maple with that large round leaf. This is not gonna be a variegated form, the straight species, but a very unique maple and a fun one just to see here in the landscape, and fun to see it used almost as a street tree here. It's very unique to see.
It's really awesome that the city of Hendersonville has planted a lot of rare maples up and down Maple Street and a few other spots around Hendersonville as well. But this is just such a cool plant, and it's a plant, if you're on Maple Street, you definitely got to come down and check it out.
As we keep moving down Maple Street, we've passed a bunch of really cool plants. Kevin Rhodes, shout out to him. He just came by. We didn't catch it on camera, but he's one of the guys who puts a lot of these great plants in, and he said, hey, make some good photos and videos. So shout out to him. He's one of the guys who has the vision to plant a lot of these really cool plants around Hendersonville.
We've passed down through here Acer bergerianum golden pharaoh, Acer bergerianum street cred. There's a whole bunch of fun ones, bling bling.
Acer waxmanii?
Yeah, Acer waxmanii. So a hybrid between Grisham, Triflorum, and nicoense. A lot of really cool, awesome plants here on Maple Street. The one we're standing right beside here is Acer bergerianum Shirley de Bach.
Now, I like this plant a lot. Acer bergerianum Shirley de Bach is one that's selected for having that really tight, upright branching. So it's not necessarily columnar, but it definitely has more of an upright. All the branches are more of a heavy V, so it makes it a tighter, more compact shape. Lovely form on this one. It tends to get very dense and full. Great orange fall color with red splashes in it. I love it for its very full, narrow form to it though. It's an excellent heat tolerant trident maple. I love coming by and taking a picture of this one in the fall too. It's just excellent.
And it's so cool that they've got all these awesome plants down here on Maple Street. I know I keep saying that, but seeing a giant Shirley de Bach here in downtown Hendersonville really just adds something special for us. And the fact that it's on Maple Street is just an even added bonus.
Yeah, we've got some fast growing ones out here, so there's definitely some Japanese maples that get out there a little quicker and make more of that street tree-like form. We did sneak in a Stewartia pseudocamellia though over here, so some other fun ones from Japan. But just really fun to see these trees thriving, doing great here, and looking amazing in downtown Hendersonville.
So we've come down the street a little bit further. Any guesses to what this plant could be? Any guesses?
I'm gonna guess Tsukasa silhouette,
Hey.
but I also grafted it and grew it and sold it to the guy who put it here. This is an amazing Acer palmatum. You know, not commonly seen as a street tree, but maybe it should be thought of a little bit more in this location. Tsukasa silhouette is a narrow growing columnar Japanese maple that is exceptionally heat tolerant and durable. So it makes a great pairing here. This is actually in a parking lot, so there's parking spaces on either side of this, and this more narrow tree is perfectly fit in the middle here.
It's gonna be tall and narrow here and give some excellent fall color, but a lively green fill throughout the spring and the summer. And that's really what a lot of people want for street trees. Low maintenance, and it's got a root system that's not gonna be growing into the sidewalk. Excellent street tree down here on Maple Street.
When this tree is grown properly and not chopped off at the top a lot, it maintains a very nice upright habit. You know, sometimes this one can get a bad name because it'll get chopped down sometimes and it'll get a wider plant to it. But if you allow that central leader to take off, you're gonna get a more narrow form. This tree here is not pruned at all, as you can see here in this setting. This is literally a street tree that's, you know, kind of left to fend for itself a little bit, and it still has an amazing columnar shape to it. So keep that central leader intact on your Sukasa Silhouette, and it's gonna get very nice and columnar. So we've passed quite a few trees. We're all the way almost down to 5th Avenue now. We're right in front of Southern Ag, and we've got a really fun Japanese maple we'd like to talk to you about. It's Acer palmatum Ryugo G.
This is an extremely rare selection from Japan. It has a nice Matsumori leaf, some really good red spring color. And this one here really has some really nice oranges to reds in the fall as well. This is such a fun plant, and it's extremely rare. And you don't find it many places except at Mr. Maple and on Maple Street in Hendersonville.
Yeah, I love this one for that heavily Matsumori leaf like Tim's saying. The leaves are so heavily divided. I mean, it gives it a elongated finger-like look to the leaf. Very, very dark foliage as well. It's one of the darkest reds in the early spring. Just a fun one to catch here as you walk down the road.
In Japan, they call this an Aroha Momiji style, which is a mountain style, which refers to Matsumori leaves. That's that leaf that is a little more divided on it. And this is such a unique one that we saw in Japan. We got this plant before we went to Japan, and it's a nice one that doesn't get very, very tall, but actually get some nice a wide spreading canopy to it. That will actually give some nice shade as the plant matures.
Hey, we've reached the end of Maple Street. We're down here on Maple and 5th, and I like Maple Street way better than Easy Street. We're down here with Acer palmatum Dragon Tears.
This is a cool plant that has an upright and slightly weeping and spreading habit. So this gives such a unique shape, and over time this will make a really nice shade tree.
Yeah, think of this one more like a Murayama than Ryusen. It's semi-pendulous, it's got some upright branches that'll eventually weep down, but it's definitely not Ryusen in its shape. It's gonna be a little bit more open and airy. Think of it almost like as a contorted Japanese maple. I like to think of it that way because it's a really unique shape, but a beautiful specimen of this here too, and a great color. A lot of people like this one just for that leaf-shaped color. Is a bright, bright picked up red.
Now the cool thing about this, you'll notice, the branches just arch down all by themselves. This isn't something that's been trained down. Often people will take a blood good Japanese maple and bring the branches down with weights, trying to make it do what Dragon Tears does itself, because it's so unique and it adds a lot to the garden.
Hey, we've hoped you've enjoyed this view. We've came down Maple Street. We've highlighted a few of our favorite plants on Maple Street in Henderson County. Maybe we'll stick a little Mr. Maple Street on the front of that because we've got a lot of Japanese maples out here and a lot of other cool plants that I think will be fun to highlight on our channel.
We hope you all have enjoyed this video. If you get a chance, come check out Maple Street in downtown Hendersonville. Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.